Get ready to rock out with your talk out. It's the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus. Well, grab my ass and sniff my gas. It is time for the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus. Everybody, welcome back, everybody. Just welcome. Give yourselves a round of, a round of shots. Buy yourselves a round of shots on Mr. Pittsburgh over here,
Yeah, sure.
Anyways, so welcome back. It is the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus. We have a lot to get into. So you don't want to be too much dick around, but we are live. On Rock Rage Live, and we've been telling you guys Tuesday nights. Well,
guess what?
It's Monday nights at 9 p.m. on Rock Rage Live on Facebook. So join us. We love taking questions. We just switched, so it's like
a little strange.
It's a little off. It's a little off, right?
Yes.
We don't have the. Instead of having 3 or 4 people, we got like 0. So
we actually have 3 right now.
Oh wow!
Again,
Praise the Lord.
So thanks, guys, for tuning
in. So we love to give shout outs and things like that. So don't forget to do that. RockRageRadio.com and musicfromthe412.com are both awesome websites that host the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus, as well as awesome, and I mean awesome, music-related content. Talk, songs, live performances, all kind of things, comedy, a lot of stuff. So rockrageradio.com, there's a free app you can download with that. Also, what's cool about Rock Rage Radio is they also have Hot Licks with Lily Six. Lily will be rejoining us as soon as she gets a few things straightened out for her usual twice a month kind of situation. I think is working. I think that's what we're going to be doing. The podcast has, if you may have noticed in the past few weeks, has kind of made this little shift towards more guitar centric stuff. So that is
because Lily's not here to scold us.
Well, it's not that. It's just that that's by design. We have a lot of things going on, and I'm really excited because we have 67, not 69 dudes, but 67. We have 167 downloads of our podcast. So that is really exciting.
Cool.
Those are people that saved it to their device,
right?
Not just people who went to Spotify and streamed it or whatever,
right?
So that's really it's really exciting. So I'm trying to you treat this a little bit more businesslike, and
Oh, that's one word that describes us.
Yeah,
business-like.
I'll give you your business.
Oh,
so, anyways, we have a lot to go through today. So let's get into it. Mr. Pittsburgh, how are you?
I'm fine, thanks for asking.
And so we had a couple of unexpected things right before we started. So why don't you go ahead and what did you get up to this week?
What I get up to here? Oh, look at this. I'm just like computer illiterate here.
All right, you ready? A river.
I got some shit. Now I didn't get a chance to watch any movies. I just did a 6-day straight work stint, so that was a little rough. But I did come across some stories. We're going to talk about them here. So Lou, you and I are from the 80s, right?
Okay.
There was one time you could not escape Bruce Springsteen. He was everywhere.
Right.
Right? So I'm sure you...
The Born in the USA era.
Exactly.
Of course, yeah.
I'm sure you remember the song Glory Days, yes?
Glory Hole Days, yeah.
That was side B. That was behind the other end.
That's the G.G. Allen song. Yeah. The Glory Days is the Bruce Springsteen song.
My fault. Anyway, so there's a line in Glory Days where Bruce Springsteen, you know who he is, sings about his friend who was a big baseball player back in high school. Turns out this is based on a real person in his life, which I thought was kind of cool. It kind of had that flavor to it, like he was really telling a story. Them meeting up years later at a bar and reliving their glory days really happened. That's the basically the second part of the lyrics there. So that's very cool. Now this friend was Joe DePugh.
Joe who?
Joe DePugh. That's DEPUGH. I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly. Joe said years later that the first time he heard the song, he knew exactly who Bruce was singing about.
That's it, isn't it?
Yep. Hey, friend. Yep.
No, not
Well, that's the jazz version.
That's the Frank Zappa version.
Yes.
Continue. Sorry.
Excellent. Well,
when you were talking about it, I was starting to go like, that's right, I learned this song.
I learned that song.
Yeah.
So the reason I bring this up is, sadly, unfortunately, last week, Joe DePew had passed away. And
DePew to past.
He passed away. So the guy that actually inspired those lyrics in Glory Days no longer with us. But thank God he was.
So I shall raise a glass. Or some class. We need some class in this gas.
Yes, sir.
But we'll raise a glass to DePew.
DePew.
Not Peppy DePew.
No. Florida orange juice.
It's not just for breakfast anymore.
No, it's not. But, he passed away at the age of 75. So, God bless Joe DePew. And thank you, Bruce, for singing about your time with him. Lou. Back to you.
So, this is just very quick. Jurassic Park is real.
What?
Yeah.
What?
They have just cloned dire wolves.
Yes,
now,
I saw that.
It's not as far back as dinosaurs.
Right. But they're extinct.
They're extinct, and they were not clonable until AI. So get fucking ready, guys.
Oh, boy.
I mean, like, AI, they were like, I can't clone. Okay, well, there was the bad bone fragments, too. We can't, you know what I mean? And it was
AI's like, here, hold my beer.
It was, AI was like, wait a minute here. You silly. You're such a silly human. Let me get this straight. You put the lime in the coconut.
Yeah, he's right.
And that's what they did. They put the lime in the coconut. And now they're dire wolves again. And they're fucking magnificent. They're really neat looking. They're really, really cool. But Jurassic Park is real. I saw Rogan had the guy on.
Oh, that's cool.
And real quick, I just a part two about this. This is hilarious. So this morning, I'm like half awake. This morning, I'm drinking my coffee. I'm flipping through YouTube, and I see Stevie T invades the Joe Rogan Experience. I'm like, what? He's on Rogan. I'm like, holy fuck. So I put it on and I start watching it. And they play that little Joe Rogan intro. And then Steve does some guitar over it. And he goes, so there you go, Joe. Now your intro song has a guitar solo on it.
There you go.
And Joe's like, all right, man, thanks for being here, And I think going back and forth. And it took me a minute or so to realize it's not the Joe Rogan. He did that editing shit.
Right, that what's his name? Weird Al used to do. Remember he used to do interviews on MTV?
Yeah. So he would. So it's just edited,
that
but
would have been
it's
so
cute.
Cool though.
It's cute.
Stevie.
It's cute. I just thought it was.
Take
I
this
thought it
out.
was cute. Like it was.
That's
fun.
cool.
And then when I looked closer, it was not Joe Rogan's channel or one of his subsidiary channels. It was Stevie's channel.
Okay.
But go Stevie.
There you go. That's
Have
pretty
fun,
cool.
buddy. Continue, Mr. Pittsburgh. What else you got?
Good. Oh, that was your thing. That was one of your things.
Yeah.
Sometimes we just talk, Lou. I just think we're talking and talking. Lou. I don't know. Why
Pittsburgh, Mr. Pittsburgh.
I remember a couple of months ago, maybe even a year ago, we were talking about Jerry Rafferty's Baker Street.
Yes.
And how we talked about it on the podcast, I think.
Oh, yes.
Very
very good.
And
very yummy.
Through some research,
Very
because
saxophone.
we have a saxophone? But through some research, we found out there are two different versions of the same song.
Two virgins.
One is sped up a little bit for American radio, which I can tell. I can tell the difference. Well, anyway.
Yeah, it's not even subtle. It is kind of, it's kind of noticeable. Yeah, you're right.
That song should be this, So Jerry Rafferty's Baker Street, which was released in 1978, does have a backstory. And here's that backstory. Jerry was trying to get out of his contractual arrangements with Steelers Wheel. If you remember, he was in Steelers Wheel. Yes.
Stuck in the middle.
Exactly. Steelers Wheel broke up in 1975, and because of the litigations and whatnot, Jerry always had to take the train to London to meet with the lawyers.
He takes the morning train to London. He meets with guys. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. Now, on the train, he would meet an old friend, and they would end up meeting up afterwards, hanging out, shooting the shit, and playing guitar. Well, his friend lived on. You're not gonna guess this in a million years. What street his friend lived on?
Well, wait a minute. Let me say Sesame Street.
Are you looking at my notes again? You're thinking, excuse me, you're thinking of Bruce Stringbean and the Sesame Street Band.
Yes, I am.
That's what you're thinking of. No, his friend he ended up living on Baker Street. So that became kind of the inspiration for this
Is that
song.
the guy who's going to give up the booze and the one night stands?
Well, it kind of. So okay, I'm trying. Let me just check my notes here. Okay, so the line in the song, "The sun is shining, it's a new morning, you're going home," was added after all the litigation was done. He didn't have to take the train in and out of London all the time, so he basically was home. It's kind of like you said, the whole song is an observation of solitude and liberation. This came from Jerry no longer having to deal with Steeler's wheel. And so I thought it was kind of an interesting little thing because we had talked about Baker Street, and now it makes a little more sense. And yes, the
story
saxophone.
behind Baker Street.
Yes. What guitars played in that song?
I do not know.
See? Thought maybe because you're smart.
Apparently not that smart.
I thought it was Les Paul, but then I think I read somewhere it was a Strat. So I just don't know. Loudini.
On the cover of the album, I think he's playing. It's a cartoon drawing.
Yeah,
and it looks like some kind of Les Paul.
Les Paul. So maybe that's where I got that thought. Orange juice, orange juice, vitamin C.
Okay, so before I forget,
Yes.
I want to the guy that played this right here.
Okay.
It's his birthday today.
Oh.
See if you know who it is.
Okay. Oh man. I know the song.
You know the song. It's
I'm trying to think who would have been around
50 Ways to Leave Your Lover.
to play that.
This is the one and only Steve Gadd. Played that. He's a very
Steve Gadd. I know the name.
He's played with everybody.
Yeah.
Played with everybody. He toured with Clapton. He was Clapton's drummer for many years. Like later Clapton.
Right.
You know, when Nathan East was playing bass.
Yes.
Like that era, he was playing with Clapton during that era. But he's played with dozens and dozens. He's on a lot of records. But that is like that's the his signature. So if you ever go like Steve Gadd, like what does he play? Oh, he plays the intro to 50 Ways. Yeah, he came up. That's his beat. He invented that. He created that.
It's very distinctive.
Yeah.
You know.
So.
I
just wanted to throw that out there.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I just want to throw that out there before.
Happy birthday to him.
Yeah, so we'll get this. We have some more rock and roll birthdays.
That's awesome.
Oh my God, there's so many things happening right now.
Oh, it's crazy talk.
So on the Vertex Effects channel this week, they had an interview with Tim May. Okay. In the movie Back to the Future, there's a scene where they are at the sock hop, prom, whatever.
Right.
Dance beneath the fishes, whatever it's called.
Chapman under
Sleep with the fishes.
Sleep
no, that's good, fellas.
Sleep with the fishes, prom.
And there's a band playing, and then Michael J. Fox gets up, and they play Johnny B. Good and Earth Angel and a couple things.
Yes.
And so that is not Michael J. Fox playing. Michael J. Fox does play a little guitar, but that is not him actually playing. Right. That is a guy named Tim May, who was a session ace from that era. And he got the gig because Alan Silvestri did the soundtrack, and so he's all over the soundtrack. He's like, just when they need the guitar in the orchestra or whatever,
Right.
He's on it. Other than the Huey Lewis songs,
sure.
So Vertex Effects interviewed him, and just 2 points I wanted to make. First of all, on that song, Johnny B. Good, he does not play anything like the guitar that's in the video. He does not play any kind of Gibson. He doesn't play any kind of...
Oh, really?
Nothing like that. Doesn't play 335. Doesn't play anything like that. He plays a Super Strat. Might not even be a Fender.
Wow.
This is just a super Strat. It's got a humbucker in the bridge. And it's got Floyd Rose in the whole thing. And he said the reason he did that was because he needed to get, because that song covers like every type of rock guitar playing from Chuck Berry to Van Halen.
Yeah.
So he was like he needed
I need to. Yeah.
Yeah. He was like, I wanted to have a guitar that would do all that. And so he says that they wrapped up the session and everything, and he got called to do another session. He's like, what the hell do they want me to do? So he went in and he set up and they said, we want you to plug, we want you to turn your amp up real loud.
Yeah.
And we want you to plug your guitar in. And so that's, in the scene where he plugged, that. So and then they have, they said, now that it's plugged into the amp, hold up the cable without it plugged in the guitar and press your thumb up against it. And then they recorded that. So that was all recorded. Like today we would that would be done through a sound library or something. Exactly. They actually had a session. He got paid
to
go and do that. And then there was something else he had to do something else. It was a couple of 3 things. And just so they could get those sounds. Isn't that crazy? Wow. That's fun.
Back in the day, like the practical effects, you literally had to have somebody sit there, put their thumb on the tip of the cord. Yeah,
there's something about that, like, because by having more original sounds than you less, because here's what happens in art. No matter how big your sound library is, people start to gravitate towards the same sounds all the time. So you hear the same sounds in movies and television shows all the time.
All the time, you're like, that sounded familiar.
Yeah, you know what I mean. It's like, so.
What's the scream? The screen that's used in
I can't remember.
It's a guy. It's the guy's name.
Yeah, it's just stuff like that. They just use it.
Let's use this one.
Yeah,
sounds good.
Yeah, but there used to be people like the John Travolta character in Blowout. Remember the movie Blowout? You never saw Blowout? Oh my God!
I think I've seen it.
Oh my God! It's a freaking great movie. He plays a sound recordist, and he's going out and getting sounds for movies and stuff. That's what he does. And he accidentally sees a murder.
Oh, no.
It's like a political, like a senator. It's kind of based loosely on Ted Kennedy and the Chappaquiddick thing,
Okay. Yeah.
And it's really good thriller. It is. Nancy Allen is in it.
Oh, I like her.
Yeah, they were both in Carrie together.
Exactly.
So I highly. Anyway, so I was not supposed to be talking about movies, but I was just telling you about that.
Okay.
Continue. Sorry, what do you got? You got something else, Mr. Pittsburgh?
Yeah, of course I do. I've got some shit.
I got some shit tonight, man. Mr. Pittsburgh whipping out his shit.
Ooh, sharing my shit. So.
Shit sharing.
Hey, what?
Sharing shit.
Share like shit. So one of my favorite guitar players, of course, Peter Frampton, Mr. Peter Frampton, an honorary member of the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus. I heard a little thing about him and some legal troubles he had. Now, let me explain. So, in 1974, Peter Frampton is vacationing in the Bahamas, right? Beautiful setting, nice, nice tropic environment. So, he grabs his guitar, comes up with some chords. These chords would later become "Baby, I Love Your Way."
Oh.
Yeah, there you go. That's not where it ends. So the thing is, what inspired this song was a woman. He was in love with this woman. He was infatuated with this woman. The only one small problem there, Lou.
She was married.
Well, okay, Lou.
No.
2 small problems. She's married, and so is he.
Oh.
But not to each other.
Oh my God. Okay. Isn't that a country song, "Married but Not to Each Other"?
Yes, that's a good one. So her name was Penny McCall. And over time, these two kind of start smashing, right? So, "Show Me the Way" and "Baby, I Love Your Way," both songs were written with her in mind. The songs, of course, become hits, right? Okay. So the album company says, "Peter, we want a live album." Oh, I see where this is going. So Peter goes out, tours, delivers a recording, but there's no "Baby, I Love Your Way" on the recordings. And they're like, "What are you doing? This is like a big hit for you." He goes, "We recorded. I just wasn't happy with the sound, quality of the live recording." They're like, no, I ain't going to fly. You need to have that song on your live album. So they sent him back out, and he re-recorded the tour. By the way, while he's out there, they're like, "Oh, yeah, Pete, one more thing. We want a double album." So they kind of sprang that on him. Okay, so that album comes out. Huge success. 2 years after the album's release, Penny and Peter, who had pretty
Penny
much,
and Peter.
Penny and Peter, they end up their romance hits the skids. Okay, however, Penny sues Peter for this new thing that just came out back then, palimony. Do you remember palimony?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
What was that?
That's where like you weren't married, but you cohabitated for and so
You were pals.
So she's entitled to half of your stuff, or he's entitled to half of her stuff. I don't know. Well, anyway, so she claimed that since they were living together in a romantic couple, that she deserved half of his stuff that he made during that entire period that they were together. So this judge is a good guy. Right here, he's a good guy. He says, "Look, you were never married to each other, and you never presented yourselves as a couple out in public because they kind of kept it hidden." So he says, "You know what? No." So she lost the case. Pete got to keep all the money from that.
God.
But it's just, wow, just incredible, that whole story, just because he's horny in the Bahamas with his guitar. Yes.
See?
Yep.
Keep it in your pants, gentlemen.
Yes, pallies.
You boys and your little getting all of yourselves crazy over the women,
Crazy over the
women
women
folk.
There
The women
you go,
folk.
see? Great minds.
So, two major guitar stores closed in the past week to 10 days. GAC and Bachs. Bachs.
I would say Bachs.
I believe GAC was in England, and Bachs was in Europe. I can't remember which country it was, but they were giant. They were independently owned. They weren't a Sweetwater or anything like that, or a musician's friend
or anything,
or anything like that, right? And they'd been both been open a long time. It's just I'm just kind of wondering, like Rob Chapman was talking about it, and just is there becoming less of an interest in guitar? I just kind of think that I think that maybe there was a big surge on guitars during the pandemic because the government gave everybody money and nobody could go do anything. So a lot of people
learned how to play guitar.
A lot of people learned to play guitar. A lot of people learned to play guitar during the pandemic. And so maybe that where we're back to like kind of where it would have been.
Yeah, more.
You know what I mean? After pre-pandemic or whatever, or there could be other factors involved.
Yeah.
Like I got to be very honest with you. There is an awesome music store. I guess I could walk to it. I really wouldn't want to, but
take a while, but it's possible.
Yeah, it's possible. And I almost never go there. I haven't been there in forever. If I want something, I buy it online.
See, that's what we differ, because I actually still go to music stores, and I have.
I go to music stores. I just don't go to that one. Not for any reason. I don't know why I don't.
Yeah.
I should just go. Because the last time I bought a set of strings, I bought it at Guitar Center, and but you know why?
Why?
Because it was when I was out.
Right.
I was like out that way.
You didn't wake up and go, screw this other place, I'm going to Guitar Center.
Yeah, I wasn't like I wasn't like I happened to be out there, and I knew it wasn't going. And
the store's right here.
And what ends up happening with Guitar Gallery is their schedule and mine sometimes don't jive.
Yeah, exactly.
And
well, I always feel bad because I used to like going to guitar stores just to, eye shop. I didn't have money back in the day, and so when I actually started having money, disposable income, and I was able to buy guitars, I really enjoyed going in there because I was going to contribute to that business. Right now, I can't really buy anything other than strings, maybe a guitar strap or something. So I feel kind of bad going in there. But, those are the kind of people down there. Been in business forever. It's like a family when you walk in. I really shouldn't feel bad. Maybe I'll go down and visit tomorrow. Buy a pick.
Well, sometimes
I'll get a pick.
A pick. Sometimes too, like it's just good to go.
Yeah.
Anytime I go down there, I'm always glad I went out. Oh, I haven't seen this guy in a long time, and that guy. And people will come in that I know.
Yeah.
All right. So I just thought it was just kind of a weird.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Anything
tough
else?
to say why they would close. Sure, I got some more shit. Oh, you know what? So, Lou and I have a mutual Facebook friend, James Conway. And I met James back on MySpace. That's where I met him. And James is a huge Rush fan, right? And he lives up in Michigan. And so he has actually played... I don't know if if he opened for them or if he's able to get backstage, but he actually, made some contact with Alex and Getty and stuff. And he would, back in the day, James would send me these little MP3s of Rush songs, like demos that they had been working on. I don't know how he got them. This is the early days of the internet, so maybe he could have found them somewhere. He claimed he got them from the band. But I kind of stumbled upon one. Do you want to pull up YouTube and we'll take a listen to it? I always love listening to demos to see where they were getting their ideas or how an idea kind of, developed into what I know of the song. So we're going to be looking for, let's see, perhaps I should do this. Rush, Tom Sawyer demo.
Now we have to be very careful. I can only play like a couple of seconds.
Yeah, but I only want to show you what I'm... Yeah, it'll only take a couple seconds. Demo.
Because we just went through a whole thing with this.
Yeah. So that's that top one.
Is this it?
Yeah. And just listen to the tempo of the song.
Modern day war.
Okay.
So you can tell... and I thought it was really interesting that when they were first working on the song, it was a much faster song. I think slowing it down was a really good idea because it just has that heavy feel to it.
It sounds way heavier. That sounded like a dance tune.
Exactly.
I was like getting ready to get my freak on.
But I
even bookmark that. I can come back to that later.
Yeah. But I stumbled upon that. I'm like, oh, this reminds me of the demos. He sent me demos of like Limelight.
Limelight was a polka.
It was not a polka. But there were like certain lines that weren't in it yet and things, and I'm like, that's really cool. But I stumbled upon that. I'm like, oh, let me bring that up on the podcast. All right, back to you, my good man.
This is fun. Gibson Gear Guide, the channel on YouTube, has like about a 20-minute video with the likes of Joe Bonamassa, a Charlie Starr, Phil X sharing their secrets. Like they give you like little mini lessons. Very interesting. I'm not gonna just something you should check out. If you're a fan of any of those artists, Charlie Starr, if you don't, is the Blackberry Smoke.
Oh yes, okay.
Yeah, and he talks about Slide. It was very it was really interesting. Phil X, of course, is a monster, and of course Joe Bonamassa, and there's a few other guys on there. Jason, the guy that backs up or plays along with Jason Isbell and his band is, I can remember his name off the top of my head, but Gibson Gear Guide. That's all I wanted to say about it. Yeah,
that's really cool. I think I got maybe one more here. Yeah, so I've seen the documentary on this. I don't know if you have. There was a festival called the Fire Festival in 2017. It was organized by a guy by the name of Billy McFarland. So it was to be a musical event featuring many artists. It was going to be on the Bahamian island of Great Exuma.
Bahamian.
Is it Bahamian? Maybe it's Bohemian.
I thought it was Bohemian.
Oh, it could be.
Bohemian Rhapsody?
Yeah. I don't know. So the thing was, this was heavily promoted on Instagram and all the different social media at the time by like the big social influencers of the day and stuff like that. So it was supposed to have what? Yes, influencers. It was supposed to have luxury accommodations and gourmet meals for the attendees.
All right.
Instead, when they got there, the attendees, they were housed in poorly constructed tents and given sandwiches. Most of the artists never showed up or canceled, and it was just a fiasco. So, Billy was sentenced to 6 years for wire fraud charges because he didn't deliver on what he wanted the people wanted. So you'd think, after he served his time, he'd learn his lesson, right, Lou? Well, Billy's back. Guess what? You're not going to believe this.
Billy's back.
There's going to be a fire festival. There's going to be a fire. There's going to be a fire festival too.
Nice. So he's what? He's trying to get 12 years this time, or what? I can't make it on the outside.
Exactly. Tickets range from $1,400 to $1 million. Again, supposed to be luxury accommodations, gourmet food. Now, originally, it was said to
listen to me. Let me
Yes?
hold a second.
Go ahead. I'll wait.
Press pause on it because I have to say this.
Go ahead.
Whatever your excuse is in life,
Yeah.
fuck you. Because this guy right here, you know what I mean? Like, this guy's like saying, like, all right, I went jail the first time. I'm going to do it again.
Yeah.
I'm going to like he did. Look, he's just putting it out there. He's just fucking doing it.
It is. Right
Like,
in
I'm
front
not
of
telling
all
you to
of
rip
us.
people off, but like, this is a really good example of somebody who's just not going to be deterred. You know, like, it's kind of inspiring. He's probably a shyster, but like, this the
But
fucking
boy,
cojones.
this guy.
You know, dude, you have to like.
When I grow up-
you got to admire the cojones, man. You got to, dude. Like, and that's kind of what it takes, dude, in life is nowadays. You gotta have some balls. Except don't rip people off. Like,
No,
deliver on what you're
no.
doing. You know what I mean? But if you
Yeah.
get knocked down, get the fuck back up. Go ahead.
Don't do that. Now, the festival was reported to be in a place called Isla Mujeres, Mexico. Now, there's a problem. The town of Islas Mujeres says no such plans or permits or events are in existence for that time there, right? No problem, Billy says. Billy now says it's going to take place in Playa de Carmen, which I've been there. Very nice place. Playa de Carmen also says we have no events scheduled.
Oh boy.
As of right now, there are no list of artists who will be performing. Billy says, you know, everything's a risk. He's come right out and said that, Lou. The event is slated for May 30th of this year.
Well, he better get busy. There's nothing set up. Now, come on, Billy. Come on. You look. He seriously must be trying to go back to prison.
Yeah, that's
He
the
must,
only thing I can figure.
that's what it seems like. Man, I got to get back in there,
only
dude.
thing I
The
can
food
figure.
was so goddamn good.
I loved it.
Well, he might have a lover in there.
Oh,
His boyfriend might be in there.
I never thought
you
of
know?
that.
You know.
Call me closed-minded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this was really interesting. This is the YouTube channel called Golden Roots, which I've subscribed to. It's all about, classic music.
Okay.
And they did a great expose on the feud between Prince and Morris Day.
Oh, yeah.
And what people do not realize is Morris Day in the time was a purely Prince creation.
Yeah.
In fact, on the album, Prince plays most of the instruments on the actual album.
really?
Yeah.
I
On
did not know
Jungle
that.
Love and all those songs. Yeah. That's
Huh.
Prince playing that, and so he wanted to put them out on the road, but and what happened was so it was like a kind of a sticky situation because Prince like creates them,
Right.
and Morris Day kind of makes him a star,
Right.
and everything like that, but they kind of resented him because he was very controlling. And they really wanted to do their own thing, and he was like, "No, you're doing my thing, and the reason you have a #1 fucking record is because of me. No, so you shut the fuck up and you do what I tell you." And
Pretty ballsy for a little guy.
so the situation came to a head when the bass player and keyboard player for the time started moonlighting and producing other music.
Oh.
And they ended up with a #1 song, and they missed a gig.
Oh.
Prince was playing in Atlanta with Morris Day in the time opening, and Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. I was going to hold off saying their names, but they're very famous. They went on to produce big hits for Janet Jackson, and I mean, it's like they were a real powerhouse through the last second half of the '80s and the '90s, and they got snowed in. They were like in Milwaukee or something,
no.
and they got snowed in. They were trying to keep this all kind of a secret from Prince, but he
Right.
wasn't. He didn't say anything because it never really interfered.
Right.
But this song went to #1, and Prince was like already at the so they finally get in the next day, and he fired them.
He's like,
you guys got to go.
Yeah.
And Prince said that's not what happened.
Oh.
That Morris Day fired them. He's Prince, too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's a fun
he's
character.
what-
But it's a good video. It's fun. It's really interesting. And, there's a lot of, just from that era, a lot of stuff from that era kind of comes out. They talk about MTV and stuff like that. So check that out if you like it.
Cool. Yes.
So Daxton Page. And I really would like to explore this more maybe before I talk about it. So maybe we will just
We'll
save
hold off
this.
on that guy?
Hold off on this. It's about social media and musicians, and I want to review that before I talk about it because I'd
That
like
sounds
to,
like
I'd
it'd
like
be
to give my
interesting.
thoughts on it. So we'll skip on over here to Joe Elliot.
Oh, yes.
You remember Joe Elliot from
course.
Def Leppard?
Yes.
So I got in trouble on social media a couple weeks ago.
What'd you do?
Well, somebody posted a thing about Def Leppard and said that, they really like their first, 2 albums the best. And some people said, well, they like Pyromania too.
Sure.
And but kind of like after they started having the big hits, I didn't like them. And my comment was, well, I says it's easier to like be like a really good band when your drummer has 2 arms. So, and I left no emoji, nothing.
Yeah, no,
It just did,
it's
like
just a
dead
statement.
Yeah, just a statement, Wow. And so I just said, I'm just going to put this right here and just see what happens, man.
what
I got all kind of people were sincerely like trying to straighten me out. I didn't reply. I just laughed. They were all like, he's done so much. You don't understand what he's had to overcome. And then I was like so tempted to go how I says he couldn't play, he couldn't make good music. However, with that one arm, he could beat the shit out of his wife.
See, you were ready.
I was going to see
You
the
were
comeback,
ready.
but then the Lord
Yes.
silenced my fingers. He said,
little angel
"Don't
on
type
your
that."
right
Yeah.
shoulder.
He said, "Don't do that, Lou. Let's not
That is
these
funny,
poor
though.
people have enough problems, and you're you're gonna instigate them. It's bad enough what you did. I'll forgive you what you did this time. But if
it
you
was
push it
pretty
any
funny.
further, you might be on
That's-
your own
yeah.
on this one.
Oh,
because nowadays people swat you and dox you and all kind of shit.
Of
You know what I
course.
mean? So it's like I wasn't gonna do it. You know what I mean? But that's what I was thinking. I'm like, well, he could beat his wife. Why couldn't he make a hit fucking record?
Sure. Is it time for So Bad It's Good?
It is so bad that it is good.
All right, then. Folks, I scour the internet so you don't have to, and I come up with these little gems called So Bad It's Good. And here's one I found just recently, not very long. Let's give it a go.
I believe the artist is Snuggle Bunch.
Oh, Snuggle Bunch.
Yeah, Snuggle Bunch.
Yep, there it is. All right, Snuggle Bunch.
Snuggle Bunch in the morning here on WDVE.
Poop, poop comes out of the butt. Poop, poop, poop comes out of the butt. Yeah. When poop, we feel much better. Well, that poop is not in our body. We feel like we can run a marathon. Cause poop comes out of the butt. Oh, yeah. Poop, poop comes out of the butt. The butt makes a sound and something comes out. That's a poop, 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 poop. That's a poop, 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 poop. That's a poop, oh, yeah. Poop comes out of the butt. Oh, yeah.
Word to your mother.
Well, kids, just as this public service announcement, in case you didn't know, but poop does come out of the butt.
Yes.
Snuggle Bunch.
Snuggle
You can
Bunch.
find them on YouTube.
Very informative song. A lot of emotions, I think. Yes.
Poop, poop comes out of the butt. Poop, poop, poop comes out of the butt.
Well.
When poop, we feel much better. When that poop is not in our body, we feel like we can run a marathon. Cause poop comes out of the butt.
Well.
Yeah, when poop comes out of the butt, you do. You feel like lighter. You ever take a shit so big that your pants felt better? Your pants fit better?
Pants felt better?
Well, they felt better because they
as
fit
long as you
better.
didn't go in the pants,
Yeah,
of course, yes. But
the
yes.
pants fit better.
Yeah, you're like, wow, there was a lot in there.
Yeah,
Oh, my God.
Birthday shout outs to Steve Howe of Yes, Izzy Stradlin of Guns N' Roses,
Yes.
Julian Lennon, Steve Gadd, as we
Steve,
mentioned,
yeah.
Carl Perkins.
Oh.
Happy freaking birthday.
this week. Yes.
Yeah. Brian Setzer.
Oh, sure, there you go.
Joss Stone. Herbie Hancock.
He said,
Hound Dog Taylor.
yes, sir.
John Kay of John Kay and Steppenwolf. Jack Cassidy.
Sure, Jack.
From the Airplane and Hot Tuna and the Jeffersons.
Yes.
Lowell George. Al Green. Richie Blackmore.
No way.
Way.
cool. That's cool. They're all born this week.
So it is time for
Yes.
it is time for our
Yes.
riff.
My favorite part.
So our riff of the week
Yes.
is Livin, Lovin, Maid by Led Zeppelin. Very simple, great blues-based riff. Let me break it down for you real quick. There are a lot of people know the blues scale, the minor pentatonic scale. Right? Okay, that's what like so much rock is based on, especially rock of that era. But you can add some notes to this. That is the 5-note blues scale. Here's the 6-note blues scale. Right? And then there is the 7-note blues scale, which Livin, Lovin, Maid is based on. So it contains both the main notes from the minor pentatonic, and then that major third. A C C sharp D G G G G G G G G A C. Saying the notes is terrible. G G G A C A. Okay. And then you play the two chords, which is G and A. And then it is just an A chord and a D chord. A lot of guys will just do that with power chords. But it's actually these chords.
Oh.
It's the same chords,
Yeah.
but the actual third degree of the scale is the full chord is actually part of it, not just the power chord. So just a little bit of breakdown. This is on Led Zeppelin 2, and it's part of the medley with Heartbreaker. And we will talk about that riff another time. But yeah, it's just it's a super easy to play. It's one of the first, might have been the very first Led Zeppelin riff I ever learned. Okay, that's enough. I'm just jerking myself off. Okay,
Again.
so are you ready? Do you want to go over into the film corner?
Yes. Now, like I said, I was telling Lou that I just got done working a 6-day stretch, so I've had no time for movies. I got no time for movies.
What do you do when you get off work?
Maybe watch a YouTube video, listen to a podcast, and go right to bed. Because I'm old. I'll get off my lawn.
Are you up because you go to work like in the afternoon,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Do you still get up in the morning, or do you kind of get up late?
You've got a cat. You answer that question.
Okay.
Yeah. Sometimes my cat will wake me up, and I'll just shoo her away, or go make sure her food's okay, and then I go back to bed for a little bit. But yeah, I tend to hibernate in the winter. I just kind of hunker down in place, and then once the summer comes around, like those few days we had that were in the 70s and 80s, oh, it was wonderful. And then the next day was 32, and I'm like, screw this.
Yeah, we're getting like a cold snap for a few days this week. Yeah,
No
and that is your Loudini weather report. Bob, back to you.
Yes. So I'm going to leave the movie corner to you.
Before we get too far, I just want to finish with wrap up with two things.
Okay.
I wanted to say rest in peace to Val Kilmer. Speaking of movies, great Val Kilmer played Jim Morrison.
Right.
What was the character? I'm your Huckleberry from Tombstone. Doc Holliday.
Oh, yeah.
He did a great Doc Holliday. He's been my first remembrance of him was him as Mad Mardigan in Willow. That was great in that role. So rest in peace. And also rest in peace to Jim Quinn, who was a very huge radio personality in the 90s in Pittsburgh. And yeah, he passed away about a week or so ago. And just wanted to give a shout out to Jim Quinn. Yeah. Okay. So that's about it. So
wait, one more shout out.
Shout it out loud.
We should go on tour. Do you know who Clem Burke is?
Who?
Clem Burke.
Boy, that name sounds familiar.
Doesn't it? Unfortunately, we lost Clem today. Clem was the drummer for Blondie.
Oh.
Yes. So, unfortunately, Clem has left the planet.
Clem has left the planet.
Thank you, Clem, for all the music. And that's bad news, but had to get it out of the way.
So, I am a fan of the YouTuber Rob Ager.
Oh, yeah.
And his channel, Collative Learning, and then he has Rob Ager. I think the one channel is more of just in case the other channel gets taken down or something. But he does great film analyses. He does a really good job. Very thoughtful. You won't agree with everything he says, but he is, he presents it as, well, this is kind of how I see it. Right. So he has gazillion videos on different Stanley Kubrick movies. And this week I saw one that he uploaded, and I don't know how old it is because he has gone and uploaded like older content that was exclusive on his website for a while,
Okay. Yeah.
And he was talking about 2001: A Space Odyssey and how Stanley Kubrick was very tight-lipped anytime anybody asked him like what it was about.
Okay.
And he was not a big fan of explaining his movies, kind of like David Lynch. Not a big fan of like explaining the movie to you. He was like, watch the movie, like kind of like when people ask Bob Dylan, well, "What do your songs mean?" He said, "Well, what do they mean to you?"
Exactly.
So, if one of the things about that movie is there's not a lot of dialogue.
Yeah. Right.
There's and so this is one of the things I think that threw people when the movie first came out. I remember there's a documentary I watched about it many years ago, and they interviewed some different filmmakers. Talked about Martin Scorsese talked about it, Francis Ford Coppola talked about it, Woody Allen talked about it, and Woody Allen was like, he says, I went to see it. He said, I was very disappointed. I said, didn't think it was very good. He said, but something drew me back to it. He said, for some reason I was like, I ended up going to see it and I liked it better. And he said, and every time I watch it, I'm like completely. He says, now it's just like one of my favorite movies. I think it's absolutely brilliant. It's not about what you. It's not the whole alien story and everything like that. That's a framing device. Rob Ager does a really good job of sort of explaining how the film is very meta, and it is really kind of a film within a film, and you are in the film, and I'll just give you one. Some people have talked about this already, so this isn't some of you may have heard this already. But the monolith is exactly the size of a movie screen turned vertically.
Okay. Yeah.
So, that kind of is an insight into what he's really talking about and what he's trying to get you to see in the film, and so it is really kind of about the human journey of like, who are you really? And are you like, kind of like, are you what you observe? And it's very. Rob does a much better job of really do a job of breaking that down. So if you'd like to hear, maybe you liked that film and didn't quite understand it, or you thought you understood it but you'd like to you're interested in it, I put a link to it in the show notes.
Yeah.
It's a kind of hidden story behind 2001: A Space Odyssey. Speaking of films that do not have a lot of dialogue, and I watched this movie a few days ago. It's called The House Was Not Hungry Then.
Oh.
And so right now, when you pull it up on IMDb, the rating is 3.5. I think that is because people don't understand this movie. This is not okay. So if you're it's in the horror genre. This is not like a Blumhouse film. There is no jump scares.
Okay.
There is not like anything like that. Okay. This is a sort of haunted house story told from the perspective of the haunted house.
Oh.
And how it sees the situation.
Okay.
And it's not to be confused with the movie Presence, which is out, which does something similar. But this is an abandoned house, and it is there's 6 shots in the entire film. So they set the camera up in a room.
Okay.
And then people just walk in and out of the room.
Okay.
There's no nobody looks at the camera and delivers any, and the camera the camera never moves.
Yes.
Okay, so it's set up in about 6 different places in this house, and the camera never moves. And I think that it is really unique. It's a really different way to tell this kind of story. And the way the story unfolds and the way you find out who the characters are and what's going on with them is just told from as if you were this haunted house and you were hearing these people talk about their lives.
Okay.
I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was like freaking great. But I understand this is not a film for most people. It does have an art house kind of vibe, so you have to kind of like you have to like movies that are kind of artsy. It's kind of like, it's not long. Don't worry. That's the thing that I think too is like, if you're gonna do something like this, don't torture people for 6 hours.
Right.
It's an hour and 32 minutes. It's an hour and a half. You're in, you're out. This was written and directed by Harry Aspinwall, and it's. I just think it's very cool. Unusual film. All right. So I would recommend that. It's relatively new. I'm trying to see where it's playing. Do you see on here? A lot of times they'll tell you where you can stream it. I'm not seeing that.
Yeah, I don't see it on this
Popularity, your rate, create user lists. Never mind me. I'm just browsing the internet while I'm doing a podcast. Okay, so and then I watched The Monkey.
The Monkey?
So this is another movie that I was very pleasantly surprised with. I had heard I heard Jeremy Johns and different people review it and saying that it kind of doesn't know what it wants to be and that. Okay, it is not a horror comedy like Tucker and Dale.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not like knee slapping, uproarious. It is a it's a horror movie that has a sense of humor.
Okay.
But it's not like a horror comedy. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Yeah,
So it's
I know
not
what you mean.
you're not gonna gut slapping, knee slapping, gut holding, you know what I mean? I think that it's good. I think that the kills and everything in it are genuinely nasty. I think there's genuine suspense in it. I know some people that cannot deal with any horror film about a doll or a toy or anything like that. They absolutely they just think it's stupid.
I thought that scared them more.
You know what I mean?
But,
there are some bit performances, small performance by Elijah Wood. And Adam Scott are in it very briefly.
Cool.
Osgood Perkins has a small role in it too. I think it's a fun movie. I think it absolutely knows exactly what it is. There was nothing weird. It's maybe it's kind of quirky.
Okay.
It's got like a quirky kind of, this is kind of a quirky kind of vibe to it. But I would recommend it.
All right, the monkey.
Yeah, the Monkey from
The
2020,
Monkey.
from 2025, and it was released in theaters, and it's on Prime Video right
Okay.
now. So, the Monkey, the monkey. Don't mess with the monkey.
Yeah.
Okay, we are just about ready to wrap up the
Yes.
part one. On this week in 1970, the Beatles' "Let It Be" hit number one. Supertramp's "Breakfast in America" was certified gold this week in 1979. The Clash's self-titled "The Clash" is released this week in 1977. You were talking about "Fampton Comes Alive." That was
Sure.
released this week in 76. Also, along with, we were talking about Led Zeppelin, "Houses of the Holy" was released this week in 1973. Paul McCartney and "Wings" hits number one this week in 1974.
Nice.
Pink Floyd's "Dark Side of the Moon" is the fourth best-selling album in U.S. history this week in 1994. Let's see what else we got here. During a Yardbird show in Marseille, France, guitarist Jeff Beck collapses from exhaustion.
Oh, my.
11 years later to the day, his former bandmate Jimmy Page causes the end of Led Zeppelin gig in Chicago when he's struck down by stomach cramps.
Ooh.
No record of former Yardbird Eric Clapton's having a show-ending medical event on April 9th. In 1973, this week, Queen plays their first show since being signed as a showcase gig in London's Marquee Club. Leo Fender, this week in 1959, patents the successor to the popular Telecaster model of electric guitar. This time it's called the Stratocaster. Goodness gracious. Let's see, is there any other? Ron Isley of the Isley Brothers is released from jail after having served 3 years for tax evasion this week in 2010.
Nice. Congratulations.
So just yeah. So guys, listen. We talk a lot about music and guitars on here. I have a YouTube channel, Lou Lombardi Guitar, and you can find me there. But if you're interested in lessons, group lessons, sometimes I do the group thing. Please hit me up at Lou Lombardi Music at gmail.com. Just send me a email and with lessons. If you would like tablature to, I can provide that for you for Livin, Lovin, Maid. Let me know. I can just send me an email as well. Lou Lombardi Music at gmail.com. Don't forget to go to rockrageradio.com. You can download the free app or listen right there on the website. And a special shout out to Music from the 412, which features music and entertainment from the Pittsburgh area. 412 is the area code here. Some of you guys may, some of you ain't from here. We had a few comments. Did you want to give any shout outs to anybody or?
Well, Jody said hi.
Hey, Jody.
Oh, geez, I'd have to look again.
Okay. Well, we know Jody said hi.
Yes, that's all that matters.
Well,
chicks dig us.
You guys have a great week. For those of you that are listening on Rock Rage Radio, we're going to be back in about less than a minute. So stick around. The rest of you have a great week, and we will go ahead and catch everybody on the next Loudini Rock and Roll Circus.
See ya.
I won't use all the Scarlet Pimpernel. You could be a French provincial meal.